everyone, welcome to my channel. So today is going to be my 2 looks, 1 palette video using the I Heart Revolution, the Little Mermaid palette. So if you haven't seen, I did do a first impressions where I swatched out all of the shades in this palette. And there's just a quick little look at them. So I will be sure to link that as well as the playlist for all the I Heart Revolution and Disney Princess palettes down below if you want to go check those out as well. So today I'm going to be doing 2 looks with this palette and I'm super excited. There are so many shades in here that I'm just so excited to play around with, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do at the moment, but I want to get some use out of some of the shades that I haven't yet used. So I think I'm going to start by taking the shade Eric right here, which is just a super light baby pink shade. And I'm just taking this on a fluffy brush and just getting it right on there. And I'm going to start by just kind of packing this into the inner part of the crease. These lighter shades don't show up as well. They definitely take a lot of building up to get some good pigmentation. And what I have noticed from this palette is the shades tend to not be as deep on the eye as they look in the pan. You can sort of start to see a little bit of the color laying down, but not much. I'm going to switch to a denser brush. This one's kind of a little pencil type brush. And I'm going to just work on trying to pack this shade down instead of blending it through the crease. So you can start to see a little bit of a wash of color. At least I hope it's picking up on camera. But I had the same experience with the shade Ariel in my last video, where it was just super duper light and pastel, and even building it up wasn't super easy to do. I'm gonna move on to the shade Mermaid right here, and I think I want to do a bit of an ombre crease look today. So on another smaller blending brush, I'm going to start packing this in the center of the crease. And these darker matte shades do seem to perform better. You can actually see the color of it, and they seem to be a bit more buildable, but for some reason I have some trouble with the lightest shades in here. So I'm going to start going back and forth with Mermaid and Eric just on the same brush, just to get a blended sort of ombre look here. And just kind of build this up until we get the desired pigmentation of both. And then on the same brush, we're going to take Sebastian. And this is just a nice true red. And this is going to go right in the outer portion of the crease. So it's just a subtle little transition from the lightest pink to this red. And once again, I'm just going to go back in with a mix of the 3 shades and just work on blending them all together. And then once we have all those packed down, I'm just going to go in with Eric just at the very top of the crease, just to make sure it is all smooth out there. And I'm just going in very, very lightly because I don't want any of the pigmentation of the shades we put down to go away. I just want to blend out the very top. Alright, next I think I'm going to take a Tina right here. And this is just a nice shimmery red shade. Look at that color. And I am going to wet my brush a little bit with this shade, just so we get a good amount of pigmentation coming off. That shade is stunning. It's kind of like a ruby-ish red shade. So pretty. And wetting the brush definitely helps with this shade as well. So we're just going to pack this all over the lid. Then I'm going to go back in with the crease shades and just build those up and make sure everything is blended right at the top of where the lid and the crease meet, because it looks like some of the pigmentation kind of got wiped away. Then next I'm going to be taking Mermaid and running this right along the lower lash line, and I'm stopping about halfway in, a little more than halfway, just because I don't want it to go fully into the inner corner. And then I'm going to be taking the shade Dingle Hopper right here, and this shade is going to just go right into the inner corner. And I'm also going to move it a little bit onto my lower lash line as well, right where we left that open space. So here is this look all complete. I'm going to go add some mascara and I will be right back. So here is the completed look. And I did use my Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extension Mascara. I love this look. I love the red shimmer shade that is on the lid, the Tina shade. I think that is very much the standout of this look. The matte shades, like I was saying, didn't perform as well as I had hoped they would, especially the super light ones. The darker ones, they don't show up as deep as in the pan, but they still perform really nicely. But those lighter, more pastel shades are definitely a little bit trickier to build up and work with. But I am going to keep trying because I do really enjoy this palette and I really enjoy the shades in here. And I am just super excited about this palette in general. And with all that said, we can get right into our second look. Alright, so starting look number 2, we are going to take the shade Flounder right here. So this is a super cute matte yellow shade, and I'm just taking this on a fluffy brush, and like usual, I'm just going to start building this up in my crease. So there are still a few shades in here that I have not used yet, and I don't know that I'll get to using all of them, but there are definitely still a couple that I wanted to test out today. And this shade is looking pretty good. Usually with the lighter matte shades I found in this palette, they don't want to pack down as well. But this one seems to be building up pretty nicely. Just creates a nice little wash of yellow right in the crease, which is what I'm going for right now. And as always with my 2 looks videos, I like to do looks that are pretty different from each other, so the last one was kind of more red tone, so this one I kind of want to focus on the more greeny shades in this palette. So with that in mind, I'm going to take the shade Seaweed right here. And the shade looks so pretty. I used it in my first impressions video right on the lower lash line, but that wasn't really the star of the show, and I kind of wanted to play around with it some more in this look and see how it performs. So I'm just starting by kind of packing the shade into the crease rather than doing some blending. So we're just patting it right in, and once we get a little bit less product on the brush, we're going to start moving it towards the inner portion of the crease. And once again, I've said this with most of the shades in here, they aren't as deep on the eye as they are in the pan. It's a okay color comparison, but I did want to note that they build up a little bit, but so far they don't seem to build up quite as deep as they do in the pan, but personally I'm okay with that. But it was just something I wanted to note. So once I have that shade packed into the crease, I'm going to go back in with Flounder and just start blending out the edges, just to make sure that line up there is not super harsh and that we get a nice gradient between these two shades. Alright, the next shade I'm going to take is this one right here, and it is a dark shimmery green, and once again I used this one in my first impressions as the liner, but I wanted to focus in on it again today because I really did enjoy it last time. And I am going to wet my brush a little bit, and I want to try something that I haven't really done before, but I'm just going to start by packing this on the outer corner, and you can see how pigmented this shade lays down just with a wet brush. So I really think these shimmers in this palette are very standout in my opinion. And then I'm going to start bringing the shade right along the lash line, kind of doing a little bit of liner and connecting it to the outer corner. And then in the outer corner, we're just going to keep building it up. And I'm going to move it up a little bit into the crease as well. And just drag whatever is left on the brush through the crease, leaving just a little bit of an open space right on the lid. Next up, we are going to take the shade Adela right here, and this is the pretty light shimmery green in this palette. And once again, I'm going to spray my brush, and this is going to go right in the open space that we have on the lid. So I'm trying to just be very precise with the placement of the shadow, getting it right where we left that space on the lid. Alright, then the last shade we're going to take is Dingle Hopper right here. And this is going to go right in the inner corner. Just to brighten up the look right there a little bit. I'm not going to go too bold with this shade. I just want it to be a slight little wash in the inner corner. And I don't think I'm going to do anything on the lower lash line. I just kind of want to leave it as this look on the top. So with that, I'm going to go add some mascara and I will be right back. Alright, so here is the final look. I really like the idea of this look and I do like how it turned out. I feel like the shades with trying to blend the dark shimmer with the crease shade, it got a little bit messy out there, which honestly is probably just user error as I'm not the best at eyeshadow, but I did just want to note that. But overall, I really do like how this look turned out, and I really love this palette. I think the shades in here are so pretty, and I've now created 4 looks with this palette. One in my first impressions video, and then one on Instagram, and then these 2 in this video. And I really love this palette. I think the shimmers in here are definitely what stand out. I think they perform really nicely, and I found that to be the case with the other 3 palettes as well. The mattes do perform pretty well. Like I have been saying with this palette, the really light ones don't show up as well as I would like them to, and they're a little bit on the trickier side to blend, but overall, for a more affordable palette, I really do think it is good quality, and of course, I just really love the theme of this palette as well. Let me know which look out of these 2 you liked better. I would really like to hear your guys' thoughts, and let me know what else you would like to see from me, whether you would like to see more out of this collection or other palettes in my collection as well. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And with that, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!